Good morning, miss. I'm Jack Norm, police inspector. I'm charged with routine investigation of the death of Mr. Jones.
Good morning, Mrs. Jones, Clara Jones. I'm Billy Jones's wife. Walter Jones was his grandfather, but I didn't really know him. So I will be direct with you. I'm not really in an awful state about his death.
I'm collecting footprints, and I'd like to add yours.
My feet? It seems they are marvelous. You are amazing, Inspector. Go on.
Thanks.
Well, Inspector.
I'm surprised that Colio, even if he was angry at Jones, was not more grateful for his generosity.
I wasn't in the know, Inspector.
What can you tell me regarding the death of Walter Jones?
I have De Nolan's version. He said that he went to the Tortoise Belvedere where Walter Jones had fallen from the top of the cliff in his wheelchair. Now, whether it was an accident or a murder, that I can't say. I wasn't at the site, Inspector.
Where were you and what were you doing last night?
Well, I was at the restaurant throughout the evening, and I can't say anything more. It was Nolan who informed us about Walter's death.
What was your relationship with Walter Jones?
Would you be surprised if I said that our relationship was far from good? His death won't change anything. This guy hurt a lot of people. I won't cry for him.
This menu seems utterly appetizing. Tell me, what are we eating today?
I love cooking, and I do pretty well. But I'd be utterly incapable of making any of the dishes on this wretched menu.
This tower on this wild island, far from everything. Isn't it madness?
Tell me, Inspector, are you here to have a good time or to conduct an investigation?
What luxury. For some, the world is all roses. But where did the staff go? I don't see them.
Old Man Jones threw out all his staff to force his children to handle everything. And I certainly don't like playing the maid.
Who is the rightful owner of this piece of chain?
These links are really strong. It must be a man's.
What reasons could Billy have had for hating his grandfather?
How can you love someone who never helped you even when he had the power? I know my Billy sometimes abuses money, but Walter Jones was really heartless. He never lifted even his little finger to get Billy out of his problems.
So, tell me a little about Billy.
Billy is not a solid and mature man on whom one can rely, Inspector. My life with him is not always easy, but he makes me laugh and amuses me. And he still surprises me after all these years. So, what can I say?
I would love it if you could tell me a little about Sonia.
Sonia is an exceptional woman, Inspector. She inherited the straightforwardness of her mother. And I'm lucky to have a sister-in-law like her, you know.
What do you think of Colio?
I don't really know this Mr. Colio, but he's always very polite with me.
What do you know about Lorenzo Battiglieri?
Lorenzo Battiglieri is doubtlessly talented, Inspector, but I don't like his cynical and embittered nature.
What do you think of Baina?
I always wondered what happened to her, the poor thing. I wanted to talk about the accident. Indeed, the Jones family is in the habit of calling it the accident. She became mute after all.
And could you tell me more about this accident?
My husband already told me about it, but he doesn't know anything precise. He only told me that Jones and Baina had an accident together.
I would like to know more about Martin.
I like Martin. He gives the impression of being a good sort. In general, my intuition is never wrong, Inspector. But we don't know each other very well, in fact.
What do you think of the attorney, Hubert de Noland?
Hubert de Noland is a real professional, Inspector. And an attorney like him is influential. I never forget.
Did you see anyone at the Tortoise Belvedere last evening, or did anything at all catch your attention?
Well, I can't tell you anything. I spent the evening at the restaurant. Sonia, Martin, and Billy will confirm this.
Do you know anything about medicine?
No, Inspector.
I understand. Too bad that you can't help me. Without a doubt. Thank you. Just one question. I won't be here for long. What can you tell me about Clara?
Without Clara, I'd be utterly lost. Clara's a saint, dude. And the truth is that I don't deserve her. In fact, this girl is too good for me.
This could be useful.
The interview can start, Inspector.
So, tell me a little about Billy.
I'm afraid my brother-in-law has put himself in a tough spot, Inspector. He is compromising his career by gambling in a totally irrational manner.
What can you tell me about Clara?
I appreciate Billy's wife. She is charming, even if her conversations are rather limited, one has to admit.
Lorenzo Battaglieri's office.
Correct match.
This piece of cloth was ripped out of this gray vest. Lorenzo Battaglieri's vest. I have to ask Lorenzo what this machine is used for.
Please do come in.
It won't take too long.
I have some work to wrap up before tomorrow morning, but take a seat. Go on. Ask me all the questions you want. Feel free.
May I photograph your shoes?
My shoes? Well, go ahead. I doubt that'll be very useful to your investigation, Inspector.
Thanks.
Correct match.
Jones really wanted to make this tower into a super luxury hotel. If I believe this letter, Colio had Jones in his pocket.